Welcome to our year-end episode, our top 21 of 2021. This isn't my favorites or Griff's favorites or Jeff's favorites. These are your favorites. We pulled all the analytics, we ran the numbers, and we are going to break down the top 21 selling items of 2021 because it's going to be fun. And just in case there's something in there that you guys aren't throwing, maybe it'll give some insight on things you want to try. You ready, Jeff?
Let's see what they got.
Let's do it. Welcome to the Hookup Tackle. The Hookup Tackle is the world's largest showcase of Megabass products, featuring baits and colors not found at any other dealer. The Hookup also offers a wide display of OSP, Evergreen, Deps, Lucky Craft, Jackal, and many more. The Hookup Tackle is owned and operated by family, is staffed by guides and verified tackle nerds who love helping anglers elevate their craft. If you're in the Phoenix area, we'd love to have you stop by our showroom and check out the wonderful world of Megabass and the Hookup for yourself. If you shop online, there are almost 10,000 SKUs of Megabass products alone, with hundreds of other companies and new products being added daily. So next time you're looking for that hard-to-find bait, that color your fish have never seen before, or maybe you just want to elevate your game, look at thehookuptackle.com. All right, welcome back, my friends. I am Ben with the Hookup Tackle, aka the Tackle Otaku on Instagram. Of course, being joined by my buddy Jeffrey the King. We're the Hookup Tackle USA. So today we are going to break down the top 21 selling items of 2021, and we used a few different stats, Jeff. So
Okay.
here's how we broke it down. We went through and figured out, all the categories, right? And we took the top seller of each category. So hook, for instance, right? The top selling hook, top selling weight, reel, rod, so on and so forth, right? We combined a couple of categories. So there were so many different hard bait categories that we combined all hard baits into hard baits, and same with soft baits. So there'll be 5 in hard baits, 5 in soft baits, and then there'll be the number 1 in all the other categories.
All right.
Sound good?
Let's see what we
Because
got.
obviously if we didn't do categories, soft baits would have just dominated
100%.
everything, right?
Yep.
So hopefully this is going to be fun. It was really insightful for me to go through it and take a look and see what was moving, because I know what I use, right? I know what we talk about all the time. So, of course, I figured we'd see some of those, but it was interesting to see some of the things that popped through. So if you guys are ready, grab a beer, grab a drink, grab a snack, grab whoever you want. Let's do it. All right, so let's start simple. Let's start in hooks and weights, Jeff. Okay? So why don't we start in hooks?
Easy enough.
Okay, so think of all the hooks in the world.
There's a lot of hooks we have,
Right?
dude.
A lot of hooks. What would you envision being the number 1 selling hook in the store in 2021?
Probably a Ryugi.
That would
Infinity,
be a
or-
great guess because we sell a ton of them, right?
Yeah, that's the only hook that you guys really use.
So it was actually a tie.
A tie.
Okay, so we're splitting this one.
Oh,
Okay,
boy.
and this was interesting. Owner weighted beast hook.
Okay.
Crushed everybody.
What do you mean?
And it's shocking. And it's funny because this is a hook that we use all the time, but I don't really talk about it that much. I don't really pay attention to it that much, right? But it absolutely destroyed the stats. Way more than that Infinity hook.
What?
Yeah, crushed it.
No.
Not even close. By like triple.
Dude.
Yeah. So what's interesting about the Owner Beast, I'm sure most of you guys are familiar with this and throwing this. These are available in sizes anywhere from 4/0, there's a 6/0, an 8/0, a 10/0, all the way to a big, massive 12/0. The 8/0 and 10/0 sizes come in 3 different weights. You can get a 3/8 ounce, a 1/2 ounce, a 3/4 ounce, right? So you can really fine tune your approach. But this just really goes to show you the bulk of these are used with like a weedless swim bait.
Yep.
So it just goes to show you how big of a lane weedless swim baits still is, right? Whether it's a Magdraft Freestyle, Rising Sun, whatever it is that you guys are using, by far in a way crushed it. And the only other thing that was even close, and it was basically the same, right? And I don't know if this even counts as a hook, but I couldn't figure out where else to put it,
Yeah.
is the Okashira Screwhead.
You're kidding.
So these two, by far and away, it was like these two up here, and then everybody else kind of down here.
That's
It
unbelievable.
wasn't even close. So the Okashira Screwhead, obviously designed to go with a 3-inch Spark Shad or a 3-inch Hazedong, any small little swim bait. I think what really helped these guys out this year is they had 3 new color offerings. So they had the weed camo, they had the Tennessee shad, and that really helped. It really boosts sales. 16th ounce and 8th ounce, very simple. There's only 2 sizes, right? 6 colors, 7 colors. So, you know, but obviously it's an item that almost everybody uses anymore. I think this is just a staple in most people's arsenal. So interesting to see. And again, if you guys aren't throwing this, make sure you are. Put a little spark shad on there. It's just a smallmouth crack, right? So there you go. There are the hooks. Is that what you expected?
Absolutely not.
All right, let's jump to weights.
Oh boy.
Okay. Now this one wasn't surprising
Okay.
to me, because this is one that we literally seem like we talk about on every single episode. So getting back to your Ryugi Infinity hook that you
Yeah.
thought you'd see,
Yep.
by far, and again, this one just destroyed everybody.
Yeah.
So the Ryugi TS Delta, the round eye drop shot weight, the #1 selling weight, and for good reason. These are available in tons of sizes, all the way from like little tiny ones all the way to 1 ounce. But these are the go-to free rig weight of choice for us. There's tons of free rig weights and lots of good ones, and I'll use whatever I can get my hands on. But if everything is in stock and I have my choice of options, this is usually the one I go with. It comes through cover great, it sinks great. It's just, I have a lot of confidence in this weight. Of course, you can tie it on just as a drop shot, but it's just such a great free rig weight. The 1/4 and 3/8 ounce sizes, you can imagine, dominated.
Oh,
That made up like
crushed it.
80% of all of them, right? But there you go, #1 selling weight. Goes to show you, free rig is taking hold here. Right? I bet you 2 years ago, if we would have done this, it would have just been a drop shot weight.
100% it would have been.
Right? And drop shot weight wasn't even towards the top
That's
this year.
ridiculous, dude.
Yeah. So very, very interesting. So there you go. #1 selling weight of the year goes to Ryugi.
Thanks to the godfather of the free rig in the States,
Yeah.
Ben
who's that
Kohler
guy?
himself.
Oh, is that me?
That would be you.
That's a weird title. I thought I was the godfather of Orion. Or Orion.
I guess you could be
Orion.
both, right?
Yeah,
An
however you
ambassador.
want to say it. Yeah, I like the Orion ambassadorship. All right, Jeff. Jig category.
A jig. Okay, I got this one in the
Okay,
bag.
so we're talking just normal jigs.
Yeah,
now,
I got
okay?
this.
There's a 2-way tie. This was very close. It was literally, so #1
Okay.
literally sold like 6,000 units last year.
Okay.
And #2 sold like 59.98. It was literally within just a few units. So we're combining them as both winner. They're
Okay.
going to share the title.
Perfect.
Okay? Think about it.
So, the first one,
What type of jig do you think?
easy. Deps headlock jig. Easy.
Would have
That
been
was too easy, dude.
like a
And then-
football jig,
yeah,
right? Like
easy.
that's totally what I would have thought.
Super easy.
Nope.
What do you mean no?
No football jigs.
What other jig is there?
Here you go.
Oh boy.
The tie. Both swim jigs. The OSP Slipper and the Megabass Uoze Swimmer. Can't even make this up. I wouldn't have thought either. Now these are both 2 that I throw.
Yeah.
But as like crushing a headlock or something that I talk about all the time. This is
See,
dope.
I thought the Uoze was going to be second.
Okay.
But I did not see the slipper
Isn't that interesting?
being up there.
Yeah, now
That's-
this is cool because this is one, I mean, I love the slipper jig.
Yeah, it's a
so
good
when I
jig.
saw it, I'm like, holy shit, people are really responding to it. So this is interesting because, again, you usually put a paddle tail swim bait on here.
Yep.
So again, it's another kind of swim bait thing that's, you know, obviously
Taking off,
popular
yeah.
and people are having a good time. Like this is going to be a little bit more power fishing, a little more aggressive than just
Yeah.
a football jig on the bottom,
Seems
right?
like it.
So if you guys aren't familiar with these, let me break them down for you. So the OSP Slipper Jig, available in 3 different sizes. So there's a 1/4, a 5/16, a 3/8. A very simple lineup. I think there's only 8 colors. There's a black, a green pumpkin. There's a great little sunfish, a white, a tasty shad. The Slipper Jig is just a nice, compact swim jig. So it fits a 3.5 or a 4-inch swim bait perfectly. It's just very simple. It's easy to cast. You can flip it into wood very easily and it doesn't snag. It comes in and out of wood. It cuts through grass very easy. It's got a dual bait keeper on it, plus a little hole that if you really want to lock that in, if you're skipping or something like that, you can insert a toothpick in and it will create an anchor there for you. It's a short shank hook. So everything happens very quickly. It's a compact, just really nice, smaller size swim jig. They eat it, hooks them great. It holds the bait well. I mean, it's kind of the perfect swim jig. So, you know, not a surprise once you know it's a swim jig that was at the top, but I'm surprised that it was swim jig. The Uoze swimmer, this has been a staple in arsenals for a while. Kind of surprising though, that it's still at the top. I mean, it's such an amazing jig. It's one of those, I guess I'm just used to seeing them fly out of here now. So the Uoze swim jig is available in sizes all the way from a 3/16 ounce, which you can rig a little 3-inch spark shad or something on, to a 3/8, quarter, half for the 4-inch type stuff, and even a 5/8 and a 3/4 for big, 4.5 or 5-inch swim baits. So this is the jig. It comes with a weed guard. It's a hand-tied dual keeper on there. It does have a titanium blade. Let me just take it out. I think everybody's familiar with the Uoze, but let's just make sure. So there you go. Hand-tied skirt, weed guard, nano-coated hook, hand-tied bait keeper that really keeps that thing locked on, a titanium wired blade. Just a great all-around swim jig. What's interesting is I was gonna put jackhammer and chatterbaits in this category too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it's a blade jig, right? So I was gonna just let that win. I just kind of assumed it would. I thought it was either gonna be a jackhammer or the headlock, honestly. Now, it might have been, but production has been a nightmare for some brands too. So one of the things like with Deps is things can be really hot, but then they're out of stock for months at a time. So that could affect some of the results as well. I just went off pure stats, right? So if it sold, it won, right? But very interesting that this is up there. A lot of guys also figured out over the last year or so that if you untie the skirt, take the skirt off, this is an amazing just underspin. So you can streamline it down, attach a swim bait, just have this great underspin on there that you can fish through cover. So there you go, Jeff. Interesting statistics, but the slipper jig and the Uoze tied for the win in the jig category. All right, and let's jump over to metal jigs now. So this could be spoons, blade baits, anything metals. Okay. Now think of all the amazing metals, all the amazing blades, everything that we have. What are you feeling?
I'm feeling the override and the dyno response.
I figured the dyno response was going to be right there. And it's very close. Override, even though I think it's maybe the more popular one now, there's not enough inventory through the course of the year to carry it a full year. But the winner of this category is actually super shocking because we've only offered this for a few months of this year. So it took me by complete surprise.
Oh boy.
But it won.
No.
The Duo Drag Metal Series.
How?
Can you believe it?
We just got these.
But they've been flying like crazy. Guys are buying 7, 8, 9, 10 at a time. They're catching fish like crazy on it, and it wins. So the #1 metal of the year, even though it's pretty new, this is it. The Duo Drag Metal Series. Now, these are available in 4 different baits. So there is a cast version, which is just the regular version. It comes with the little stinger hook on the top and a treble hook on the bottom. They're available in a 15, a 20, and a 30 gram. Okay, so basically 1/2 ounce, 3/4 ounce, 1 ounce, right? There is a slow version that's a little bit slower fall to it. So if you need a little bit more hang time, this would be a good option. It comes with dual stingers. Okay, no trouble, dual stingers on both sides. There is a slim version that I think I have here somewhere. It's basically just a slimmer version of the original. And then there's a shot version that has a little blade on the back treble. So you can use this as kind of a cast and burn it in or let it kind of fall. So several different options, some great colors, some very realistic colors, some gizzard shads. There's some mackerels, so saltwater, freshwater. It kind of has all the bases covered. And that might be part of the success too, dude, is it's not just focused at one species or one lane. It's kind of a universal deal. So there you go, the #1 metal of 2021, the Duo Drag Metal. All right, Jeff, I'm gonna do a category that I know you're going to pick the answer to.
Oh, okay.
Big bait. So we just combined everything hard, soft. If it is a swim bait and it's larger than, an ounce, it counts.
Yes.
This one was an easy one. You know the answer to this one.
Should be the Megabass Magdraft.
And it is.
Yeah.
I don't know that anybody's ever going to knock this one off the title. So there you go. The #1 selling big bait of 2021, the Megabass Magdraft. Now, This is kind of a no-brainer because it literally works everywhere.
Yep.
Jeff, I know you love throwing the big one, the 10-inch one.
10 inches rad.
And I happen to pull this color. You ever use this color?
Decent color.
Yeah. So the Magdraft is awesome because it's available in a 6-inch, an 8-inch, and a 10-inch size. There's even a 5-inch when Japan makes a 5-inch. But you know, you'll core see 6-inch, 8-inch, and 10-inch. It's available in shad colors, MB gizzards. It's available in trout colors, right? It's also available in a freestyle version that you can use with that weighted beast, you know, going back to the #1 hook. So I'm sure these were bought together quite a bit, right? And then, of course, the #1 selling color, again, I had to geek out.
Every time.
Again, is Albino Pearl Shad. So this is the color that Zaldane basically made famous everywhere in the world now. So there you go. Very simply, Megabass Magdraft. I live on the freestyle. This is in my arsenal all the time. In fact, Jeff makes fun of me all the time. Like when we go pond fishing, I'm throwing that even because I just...
Yeah, it's crazy.
I think they're going to eat it all the time. I just have so much faith in it. And I know a lot of you guys live on the 6 and the 8-inch. You know, out here, if we're not throwing the freestyle, we're usually jumping to the 10. And even though it's big, it's 6 ounces of plastic, they eat this stupid thing. So, you know, it's just a great all-around swim bait. If you guys don't have this in arsenal, you should. But, Jeff, congratulations on guessing the right answer.
Finally.
Sir. Yes.
I'm like 1 for 4.
You did it. All right, I'm going to give you another one. I'm going to serve one up to you.
Let's do this.
#1 selling line.
Line brand?
Yeah.
Oh, Sunline.
And how about if you had to pick a specific line within Sunline?
Out of the 30 options?
Yeah, that's just in the fluorocarbons.
FC Sniper.
So by far, in a way, again, Sunline FC Sniper dominated the line category. And this is no surprise. This is really come on as being kind of the staple fluorocarbon, I would say, for sure in our market, obviously, because it just won. But I would say throughout the United States, this has kind of become the main one. And if you guys are in between line brands, you know, we talk about this all the time, that line is a very personal thing. So if you're using something that's working, stay there, right? If you're unhappy with what's happening, that's the time to experiment and try something else. Sniper is popular because it's available in sizes all the way from 2 to 30 pound, right? So you can really fine tune what you want. It comes in all kinds of in-between sizes like 7 pound and 5 pound and 4 and 3 and all these crazy ones. But it's really just super limp. And that limpness makes it cast so easy. It just has great castability. And the one, you know, big complaint from fluorocarbon is it just doesn't cast well. It's real coily. It has a lot of memory. This is probably the least amount of memory of any fluorocarbon that I've used that's still strong and has great knot strength. So, you know, this is still my go-to line when you're throwing fluoro or you're throwing sniper.
That's the only thing, dude.
So, you know, if you guys are looking or wanting to experiment with some fluoros, you're probably already using this in your lineup, but there you go, the #1 line of the year. Again, for probably the 20th year in a row, Sunline FC Sniper. All right, let's talk storage really quick. Think of all the great storage options. You've got hard boxes, you've got soft boxes, you've got, you know, different cases, right? Now, this isn't bags,
okay,
bags. Or packs.
Okay.
This is just storage.
Oh, this is easy then.
Okay, what do you got?
The inner case by Megabass.
Very, very
Easy.
close,
That was so,
actually.
Huh?
Very close to be the inner case. And Lunchbox was right up there, too. Megabass, no surprise, dominated this category in here.
I see.
Which was very interesting. I mean, they smoked Plano, they smoked Bass Mob, like they smoked everybody. And all of their options are like smaller options, right? So it was very telling. And right behind them was actually Duo and Deps, again with smaller options. So very interesting. But by far, the #1 selling storage solution was the Megabass Clear Pouch. And it's not a surprise, these are great storage solutions. They're available in a small, a medium, and a large. They're clear, so it's easy to see what's inside. The large size is great for storing tools, for storing bulk plastics. You can put your K-Tex in here. You can put your bags of soft plastics. Your small and medium will come with a mesh pocket on the outside, so you can, you know, store your soft baits in here, put your jig heads or hooks in here. Just a great way to stay organized and keep your life streamlined. So there you go, #1 tackle storage of the year goes to Megabass.
Okay.
Now, let's go to bags and packs.
Okay. I think I got this one.
I was happy with this one.
Oh. Since you're happy,
you got?
this is the OSP waist bag.
It's
The one
not.
that you always wear and advertise.
I know.
love.
I thought it would be that one, but it was overtaken. The OSP waist pack, I live in it. I love that little pack.
I know you do.
But this is the other one that I can't live without.
Oh my goodness.
The Deps Messenger Bag.
Insane.
I am so proud of you guys. Now, this is one that wasn't even on the radar last year. But for me either. Because it's just kind of ridiculous. It's basically just a bucket bag. It's just kind of like a dump bag. I mean, there's nothing to it, right? It's basically just one open thing that you dump your shit in. It's crazy. There's a little zip pocket inside, right? There's a couple little clear things, right? There's some little tool hangers. But what's so sick about this is for shore fishing, it fits cross-body or sling style. Right? You can drop your stuff in there, you can push it around, and it's so easy to carry, it's so easy to fish with. When you need something, you literally just open up, you take your tackle box out, I live in this thing. So if you guys are doing, shore style missions where you don't need a lot of gear, right? You can put everything in one small little box or 2 boxes or a box and a handful of plastics. This is just so streamlined and so easy. I can carry a water bottle, a lunch box, 2 lunch boxes, a handful of plastics, my pliers, my tool. My tools can attach to the outside on all these little loops, and I'm good. I can basically cover everything. So, and they're 50 bucks. So it's not, a $100 option or anything else. So there you go. Deps Messenger Bag. And by the way, crushed it. Wasn't even close.
What?
Yeah.
Dude.
Wasn't even close.
This is getting ridiculous.
Yeah, so there you go. Deps Messenger Bag. If you guys are shore fishing and don't have this and you want something just super lightweight, think about it. Okay, there you go. Number 1. All right, let's jump to fishing apparel.
Oh, God.
Okay, so I combined everything.
Okay.
I combined shirts, hats, underwear, socks, right? All of it goes in the same category. Surprisingly, underwear wasn't the number 1.
Oh, that's
Shocked.
weird.
Right, so weird, yeah. What do you think?
Oh, God. It has to be a Solar Flex from Sims.
This is the no-brainer.
Yeah.
Okay. The greatest sun shirt that crosses. That's not just a fishing shirt.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I wear them every single day. Don't they make me look good? This is it, dude.
I know.
The hookup logoed Anetik sun shirt.
That's crazy.
Crushed it. Not even close.
That's insane.
So these are, I talk about sun shirts here a lot. I live in 2 shirts, the Sim Solar Flex that Jeff mentioned and the Anetik, low pro. I can't say enough great things about this one. It's made out of like a meshy vent material. It's a little bit more stylish and not fishing like, which is a good thing when you're not fishing. Right? So if I want to go out to lunch, I look amazing.
Yes, you do.
Right? So that's why I go with this. And then when you're fishing, it keeps you cool. It's so comfortable. And I wear a lot of these dark colors. We live in like Satan's sandbox in the summertime, and I could rock these dark blues and blacks and grays, and it keeps me super cool. So all of these have the hookup hit down the sleeve, the hookup logo on the chest, and to celebrate it being number 1, we're going to do a re-release of our number 1 selling color. This one surprised me.
Okay.
Okay? Ice Camo was the fastest one to sell out.
That's one of your favorites.
Yeah, it is. I wear it all the time. So Ice Camo is going to be back to celebrate the new year. And then we also have a brand new release. This is the first time we have done it in a heathered charcoal, which I'm excited about. Because again, I like the darker colors. They stay really light. This is just a nice darker color. So we've got a light color, a dark color. So knock yourself out. Number 1.
Wow.
Boom. I'm stylish, Jeff.
Yeah,
obviously.
Apparently that's what it is.
All right, before we get to our hard bait and soft bait category, which really just dominated everything, let's do rods and reels.
Okay.
Okay, and this was no surprise.
No.
I'm not even going to ask you because you know the answers.
Okay.
Okay, let's start with rods.
Yeah.
Both in casting and spinning.
Yeah, let's just get it over with.
Dominated by Megabass Destroyer P5. So just
Yeah, there's
crushed
no
it.
shot.
No shot. So I was going to break this down by specific model even, and all the models pretty much just crushed it. So, you know, if you guys haven't, I think everybody at this point has tried a Destroyer B5.
100%.
If you haven't, you need to. They're available in a ton of models in casting. Some of them feature, you know, this 3D carbon grip. Some are split cork grips. What makes these amazing is that they're just so light, and the way they have been built with that 5D wrapping technology inside is the rods can bend in so many different ways that they're so fun to fish. So they cast great, they're super sensitive, and when you're fighting fish, they almost like anticipate what you need and bend as you need it to bend. Really awesome. So in casting, it destroyed it. In spinning, it destroyed it. I mean, we literally talk about the Windbuster like every episode, I think. So it's no surprise that it is the #1 selling spinning rod. So tons of spinning all the way down to super finesse. And again, with the casting, it's available in anything from, you know, jig rods to reaction bait rods, all the way down to bait finesse type stuff. So it's a wide option. So Megabass, congratulations, Destroyer P5 crushed it this year, the #1 selling rod in both casting and spinning for 2021. All right, and then on to reels. Now, this may be a slightly tainted category.
Okay.
Because supply has been an absolute shit show this year from all the brands, really, right? So, you know, I don't know how these results would have ended up had supply just been readily available, but we can't factor that in. It is what it is, right? And the numbers speak for themselves. #1 selling reel in the store of the year.
No way.
Daiwa Kage LT.
There's no way.
Crushed it. Not even close.
What?
Yeah. And what's amazing about this is a reel that we can't even sell online.
That's what I'm saying. There's no way.
So that means that enough of you crazies either came into the store, reached out to us via DM, called us, gave us some kind of personal interaction. And I can't thank you guys enough for that. It means a lot to us. We enjoy that personal connection with you guys. So Kage LT, $199, you know, pro shop only spinning reel. It's available in a 1,000, a 2,000, and a 2,500 size. It's a very simple reel. It's all, you know, just matte black. It's got this cool little Japanese cork grip on it. It's one of the smoothest reels in the Daiwa lineup. Butter smooth drag. It's got 9 bearings, so it's just butter smooth. It matches pretty much every rod. And for $199, it's an amazing reel. Should definitely be priced. I mean, you could spend twice that and feel like you got a good reel for it. So, you know, no surprise that this reel was towards the top, except for the fact of, you know, how we have to sell it and how people have to buy it, which was pretty shocking. So pretty cool. So Daiwa, congratulations. You win the spinning reel category. Now, casting.
Okay.
This was close.
No way.
This was very close.
Well,
There was a Shimano and a Daiwa that were neck and neck, but Daiwa pulled ahead.
I would assume it's the Daiwa Zillion.
And it is.
Yeah.
So the Daiwa Zillion, this is the brand new offering this year. An amazing offering, available in righty and lefty. There's a US version, there's a Japan version, tons of options. It's got all the new hyperdrive design in it, the new casting system. This might be the first time ever that Zillion was the best selling reel in Daiwa.
I would assume normally it's a Steez.
So for us, it goes back and forth between Steez and Tatula.
I see.
So we sell a ton of Steez because we all use Steez and love Steez, right? But Tatula is such a great price point that, like, the Tatula SVT wing, ever since it's been around, has pretty much won as far as pure numbers of sales go. But for a $349 to $399 reel to come in and knock a $199 reel off for numbers, pretty impressive. So there you go, the new Zillion. And again, if you guys haven't had a chance to use it, you should definitely put it on the radar. We've all got these integrated into our lineup. So even though, you know, like I just mentioned, most of us are throwing, you know, Steez, this is one of those reels that integrates perfectly. You don't even really know that you're not throwing a Steez, because it's a solid reel, it's smooth, it's got all the new tech in it, it's super dope looking too, but it just casts like a dream. So Daiwa wins spinning and casting. Kage, Zillion, those are your tops. All right, Jeff, let's jump to the next category, hard bait. So we've combined anything hard, so crankbaits, jerkbaits, topwater, whatever. This is all in one category. So we're going to break down our top 5. Okay, so our fifth place. It's a crankbait.
It's a cranker, okay.
It's our #1 selling square bill.
Oh, that's easy. It's a Lucky Craft
LC?
LC. The
Crankbait.
1.5?
We're just going to combine all the
okay.
sizes. Lucky Craft LC. Crushed all the other square bills. So, you know, this is the original 1.5 sized crankbait. It's still made in Japan, 9 million color options, and, you know, the 1.5 is still positioned as a $6 crankbait. So it's one of those crankbaits that, you know, if you're a bougie guy, like some people around here, you're still going to get this, and it's still going to be in your arsenal. If you're just kind of getting into the world of higher end tackle, it's a super affordable option to bridge the gap. So, you know, what really sparked the LC this year is just that it's a staple, right? And it's positioned well, but they did a lot of new offerings in this line this year. So they brought back the 2.0. They brought back some old school colors in the 2.5, like copper green shad, white shad. They brought out some DD versions, right? They resurrected some of the smaller pond baits that I throw all the time, like the 0.5, the 0.3, the DD versions. So they really put a lot of focus on the LC crank this year, and it shows, and the numbers show. So there you guys go. If you guys are pond fishing, you need to have the 0.5 in the lineup. If you guys are fishing lakes, you probably already have these in there, but definitely consider adding it. If you don't, it's just an amazing all-around square bill. So there you go. There's #5 in hard baits for the year. Now, #4. What if I told you it stays in the same brand? And this one was almost #3.
Okay, is it a top water?
Nope.
It's not a top water?
Nope.
Oh, then I'm lost. I couldn't tell. Oh, wait.
Here we go.
A pointer?
Nope.
What?
#4 selling hard bait of the year for 2021.
Oh my, the old LV.
LV500. So the LV500 is definitely the standard in the lipless market. I mean, this is kind of like the jackhammer of lipless, right? Like, everybody is going to have this. Then you usually get a few other ones to, like, you know, supplement when you need something slightly different. But this is almost always the starting point. Now, the LV500 was boosted a lot this year because they did put a lot of focus on it. You know, they put a lot of time in getting some of the key colors like chartreuse shad, spring craw, right? All the cores in. But then they also developed a bunch of new colors this year, specifically in like the ghost minnow type patterns that are so popular. So we see things like silver cheek ghost minnow, MS ghost minnow, you know, some of these more limited runs that really boosted sales. So they're just small little tweaks on, you know, what has been available before. We see some Japan colors like Aurora Ghost Wakasagi, Pearl IU return. So, you know, it's no wonder that the numbers really spiked because people were able to gravitate towards some of the new excitement that Lucky Craft pushed into it. They also re-released a bunch of other baits in the LV line. So like the LV 150 re-released this year, which is basically like the smaller version of the 500. And because the little guy came out, it kind of shoots some excitement back into the original as well. So there you go, the #4 hard bait of the year, the LV 500. Surprising, huh?
I didn't see that coming.
Yeah,
No.
there it is.
Damn.
All right, #3 in hard baits, another crankbait.
Another crankbait.
Yep. This one shouldn't be surprising to you.
Knuckle LD?
So this, no, not even close. This one was an exact tie, and it's no surprise because they sell out no matter how many we get of each one. So we're just combining them. The OSP Blitz EX DR and Max DR.
Wow.
So almost to the exact number, a tie. So really, if I combined these two into one, it would have bumped to number 2.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Still wouldn't have bumped to number 1.
That's
Number
insane.
1 is not even close. But here you go, the OSP Blitz EX DR and Blitz Max DR. I think most of you at this point are probably throwing this or have these in your arsenals. If you don't, just some really quick things on OSP. They make some great matte finishes, make great craw colors, shad patterns, but really what makes the OSP EXDRs and Blitz Max DRs so good is they're small-bodied crankbaits that dive deep. So these are just great tools for tackling that, 12 to 16 foot zone that's so important for so much of the year. They have a honeycomb construction, so a single honeycomb construction that allows the walls to be thinner, but still maintain its strength. They're all weighted at the base for a keel. So what you get is, instead of getting a crankbait that's a tight wobble or a wide wobble, you get a in between. So you notice it's kind of a rounder shape, which would typically mean it's a wide wobble, but because the walls are so thin, it responds so quick, it tightens it up. So you kind of get the best of both worlds. It's kind of an in between. It just makes it a great crankbait. Definitely a staple. This is always, if there's a crankbait bite tied on, these are always tied on out here for us. So there you go, the number 3, not a surprise.
No.
Right? Number 3 in hard baits, the OSP Blitz series. All right, number 2. There's no way you're guessing this one. I was floored.
Oh,
Think of
God.
the second most popular hard bait of the entire year.
Of the entire
Yeah.
year. Above the Blitz Max.
Above the Blitz.
Dude, I have no idea. No, it's not.
Teckel Kicknocker.
No, it's not.
I swear to God.
No, it's not.
It
No.
floored me. Now,
No.
keep in mind that we did do 2 custom runs
Granted,
in this,
yes.
Saki Bomber and White Walker, which was 500 pieces of each. So there was 1,000 units right there just in those 2 colors, right? And that's in each size. So 2,000 units, right? When you combine the pup and the full size, right? But this is by far the #1 selling topwater bait and the second most popular hard bait in the shop for the year. And this is exciting for a couple reasons. A, it means that everybody knows what this bait is now, right? So many of us were familiar with the original Vixen, right? Same plastic, same everything. This is it. It's available in a pup size, a full size, lots of colors. But what's cool is this just goes to show you that in a industry that is full of big brands, right? And that's almost all we've talked about today are some of the bigger brands, right? The Megabasses and the Deps and the Daiwas, right? That a small little single guy run operation can make a great bait and people will respond to it. So it just goes to show you that you just have to make good things that catch fish, and the rest is history.
That's
so
insane.
there you go, Kicknocker. Now, if you guys aren't throwing the Kicknocker, shame on you. That means you didn't pick up a Saki Bomber or a White Walker. I'm disappointed. The Kicknocker is just a great all-around walking topwater bait. It's our favorite topwater bait. It features some glass beads in the head, so you get a little high-pitch rattle. And then it features one single knocker in the back. Right, so you get that one tungsten. So you get that same kind of high and low pitch sound that you get in something like an LV500. So what makes the LV500 such a popular bait, because you get the multiple sounds, multiple frequencies. You get the same thing in this, and it just has a great walk to it. So we have more of our White Walker and Saki Bomber will be dropping this spring in 2022, and we're also adding a new color to the line as well. So we'll keep things going. Let's see if we can do a repeat and keep it in the top 5 for 2022. But there you go, the #2 bait. Shocking, right? Teckel Kicknocker.
Come on.
#2. All right, and I'm not even going to ask you #1 because this one wasn't even close. In fact, this was our second most popular bait, period. And if we combined all the categories, it smoked everybody as the #1 selling bait. And this has probably been this way for a long time. I've never actually done this before, but I would guess this has been it. So I'm just combining them all because if I broke them into different categories, it would have been number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, actually. So here you go.
Yeah.
Edo Vision 110. Still the king of the hard bait, which is crazy because this is not a new bait, right? It's a bait that's been around for decades, but it still remains the staple in the hard bait world. I mean, if you're going to throw a jerk bait, it's hard not to start here. Yeah. So, you know, the original 110 was definitely the leader, and no surprise here, you know, they've done some, you know, great kind of limited edition drops, some Respect series drops, right? So there's been a lot of cool colors that have flooded into this line this year. So even with production being very limited, you know, normally there's USA core colors, Japan core colors, and, you know, usually every month we're pulling Japan colors to the US and, you know, getting all this kind of mix, and there hasn't really been that this year because there hasn't been any baits available, hasn't been much production. So even with that said, still dominated, right? So, which is crazy. You know, baits like the 110+1 were a very close second to the original 110. So again, I just combined them all because otherwise it would have just been the 110 episode, right? This one was number 3, which is crazy because it's a brand new bait to the lineup. So the 110+1 Junior, followed by the 110 Junior, then the Silent, then the +2, right? So it's a big, broad category, but you guys are still loving these baits as do I. So there you go. The best jerkbait in the world and the #1 selling hard bait of 2021. Congratulations, Megabass. The 110 stays the king. All right, Jeff, our final category.
Yep.
Okay, our top 5 soft plastics, and we are going to end. So the #1 bait in this category is the #1 selling bait of the year.
Oh, God.
Okay. So this is exciting. Okay.
Let's see it.
So if it's soft plastic, it's in this category. Okay. Number 5 is a tie, literally within just a few. So I combined them together.
Jesus.
Okay. So I'm just going to jump into it because there's so many baits in here. We'll be here for an hour if you guess all the baits, right? Okay. This was a tie between 2 of my favorite brands.
Oh, okay.
The OSP Dolive Stick and the Megabass Dark Sleeper.
Wait, the Dolive Stick was the #1?
Nope.
Oh my God.
So here we go, the number 5. So this is no surprise to see both of these in the line. The Dark Sleeper, of course, has been out for ages and ages and ages. This might have been one of those that would have been higher had production been more available, because this is one that a lot of SKUs we sell out and we're out for months at a time this year. So production's been rough on this guy, but still in the top 5. So, you know, one of the most knocked off baits of the year, I would say. You, Jeff?
Yeah, it's definitely one of those ones.
Yeah, there's been some people that have blocked me from some comments. But here you go. Dark Sleeper, it's great as a swim bait. It's great as a jig. You guys need to have this in the arsenal. It works almost any way you throw this thing. So that guy ties with one of my favorite baits, even a bait that I built Fred in.
Yeah.
The OSP Dolive Stick. So this is a must-have in the arsenal. It's available in a 3-inch, which is great for a drop shot, a 3.5-inch, which is also great for a drop shot. It's an amazing free rig size. It's the size I use the most. It also comes in a 4.5-inch size, which is great to fish it like a Senko or a fluke. And then even a fat version, which again can work like a Senko or a fluke. It can also be a back gliding bait. But the stick is just one of those natural baits that is subtle. It's basically a Senko fluke hybrid. Okay, so it's got a thicker body like a Senko would, but it has this kind of, you know, more of a fluky type tail. So you just get a little different action, a little more aggressive action than you do out of a Senko. And surprisingly, I would bet this is probably the first year the Senko hasn't been in the top 5.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
so crazy. It beat out the Senko, which I thought would be very difficult to do, but it wasn't even close, actually. So there you go, guys. The number 5 soft plastic goes to OSP and to Megabass. All right, number 4. This is pretty cool because this means that people are paying attention to trends that are happening outside of their immediate world, right? Like I would say when you think of soft plastics, most of our country is probably surrounded by Zoom and Strike King and, you know, all the normal US soft plastics that we see laying around everywhere, right? This is one that is so popular in Japan that has finally caught on big time here. And I'm excited because it's one that I love to throw. So here we go. Number 4, the Deps Bullflat.
Yeah.
And this crushed.
Oh, yeah?
Like this was way above number 5.
Wow.
Yeah, so the Bullflat is just an amazing bluegill profile bait. We sell gazillions of them, obviously. What makes this such a great bait is available in tons of sizes and a big range of color options. So you could do a little 2-inch guy, you know, on a drop shot. You can free rig the 3-inch and the 3.8 inch, both great on the free rig or even as a jig trailer. And then, you know, Jeff, you and me love these bigger sizes. The 4.8 and the 5.8 are great fish by themselves. You almost use it like a swim bait or again on those owner-weighted beast hooks that we talked about earlier, right? So just tons of options, lots of different things you can do with these. If your fish are feeding on bluegills, crappie, perch, you know, anything that's more in that flatter profile, these are just a no-brainer. So congratulations, Deps. Top 5 soft plastic Bullflat.
Right there.
Number 4. All right, number 3. I'm gonna say if supply wasn't an issue here, this could have been number 1.
Oh, wow.
But this was one that we only got a few drops of this year, and as fast as they came in, they flew out.
Okay.
But the numbers are huge on it.
Cover Scat.
Cover Scat.
Yes, sir.
Number 3. So how nutty is that? The Poo Bait crushed, right? So the most popular bait in Japan over the last few years has now become one of the most popular baits here in the US. So this is it. It's basically just a very heavy, soft plastic stick bait designed to get down to the bottom quick. You can rip it, fish it like a jig. Just a ton of versatility. It's available in a 2.5 inch, a 3.5 inch, a 4 inch. Colors anywhere from grays to pinks to green pumpkins, right? A big variety. I'm not going to talk that much about it because you guys know about this thing, but there you go. Deps has 2 of the top 5. Isn't that crazy?
Look at Deps, man.
Yeah, coming out of nowhere. So congratulations, Deps. Good job to you. All right, number 2.
Oh, God.
Smallmouth crack.
Oh.
Put it to you like that.
Okay. We'll go with the Hazedong Shad. 3-inch.
Absolutely.
Here it is.
The Hazedong Shad. So there you go. Literal smallmouth crack. I mean, it catches everything. But if you fish around a brown bass and you don't have a Hazedong,
You're doing something wrong.
You're doing something wrong. What's interesting is, Jeff, you and I did a lot of smallmouth fishing this last year.
We did.
All around the country.
Yeah, it
right?
was good.
So Wisconsin, Michigan, New York. Like we went to a lot of different places.
Even here.
Everywhere we went,
oh,
this was the bait.
That was it.
And what's crazy is we even went to New York when like the stupid flatworm thing was just like a craze,
that was
right?
It.
And the second I took the flatworm off and put a Hazedong on, I started catching them.
Yep.
Yeah. So, you know, it's one of those baits that's been on the market for a very long time, but it's still semi under the radar, I would say, right? Because it's getting overshadowed by a lot of the PR of flatworms and different things. But there you go. The number 2 soft plastic Hazedong is available in a 3-inch and a 4.2. The 3-inch is a no-brainer on a drop shot or a drop swim. Absolutely crushes them. Of course, you could use it on the Okashira head as well. 4.2, you can also drop shot. Also works great by itself on just a bladed hook, on a jig head, on an A-rig. So tons of colors, tons of versatility. Megabass takes number 2. But do you know what that means? That means Megabass is not number 1 in this category.
This is scary.
And this brings us to number 1, the number 1 selling bait of the entire year in the entire store by numbers.
Okay.
Okay.
I think I got this.
You ready?
I think
Should we drum roll it?
I think this is... Dude, it has to be the OSP Dolive Beaver.
It is the OSP Dolive Beaver.
Which is insane, mind you.
Now, let me give you some stats.
Oh, God. I'm going to be sick.
Okay. This was the biggest blowout This sold 3 times as many as the Hazedong. It wasn't even close, right? In order for the 110 to beat this, we had to combine all the categories. The 110, the +1, the +2, the junior, the +1 junior. That's how many people have responded to the OSP Dolive Beaver. And let that be a lesson to you if you haven't picked up the Dolive Beaver. These things crush fish. It has become our favorite soft plastic bait. We live on the free rig out here. This is the best crawfish imitation I've ever seen. And even when we throw it in places where we're not eating crawfish, like when we went up to Michigan and New York, when they were just chomping on gobies, if you pick the right color, they eat the crap out of this thing. It just falls in a way that nothing else can imitate. So super stoked about these. Just in case you guys don't know about them, they're available in a 3-inch size, which is great on a little Ned rig or a light free rig, a 3.5-inch size, which is our go-to size out here, a 4-inch size, which is great for either a bigger free rig, flipping, pitching, you know, Texas rig. We do make it in our special Fred color as well in those sizes, and it's even available in a big Magnum. Now, I didn't count the Magnum in there. We don't sell that many Magnums anyways. It's a super dope bait, but they're big and very expensive, so it's a really niche deal, right? This is like there's a big fish shallow and you need to cast something to it.
Yeah.
You know, kind of thing. But an amazing bait. I know most of you guys are familiar with this because we talk about it a lot, and obviously the numbers speak for themselves. You're all using them, right? But just in case, this is a bait that has big claw appendages, and you can notice the flex. So as this thing falls, it has this dolphin-like kick to it, and then as the weight stops pulling it, it flips to horizontal and has a horizontal fall. So you get that kind of shimmy just like a crawfish trying to get away, and then it just kind of horizontal falls like a Senko down there. It's a deadly, deadly action. So if you guys have any questions on how to use this, how to implement these, please let us know because it's definitely a bait that should be a staple in your line. So congratulations to OSP, the #1 selling bait of 2021, the OSP Dolive Beaver. You win. What's the prize? A cheers.
A cheers.
Arigatou gozaimasu. Good job, OSP. You crushed it. All right, guys, that is a wrap. That was fun, Jeff.
That was insane.
Yeah.
I honestly really thought the Dolive Stick was going to beat it all out.
Really?
Because you talk about that the most, and
I do, and I throw
was
it a
like
lot.
I
Yep.
feel like the Beaver was like a later half bait. Where
It definitely was.
when you
So-
first started throwing the free rig, it was
Yep.
a stick, and
Yep.
then all of a sudden it was like, let's try this Beaver, and then we realized that the Beaver was like really
amazing.
really
Yep. But you know, people responded, so it's great that everybody has been getting them. So you know, first of all, guys, thank you for the business and the support. We really appreciate it. So you know, and thank you for letting us come in and geek out on tackles. Hopefully, this was fun and insightful for you guys. If you have any question on anything that we covered, please let me know down below in the questions. We'll get to it. And Jeff will leave links to our top 21 of 2021 products. And until next time, guys, thank you again for the business. Have a wonderful New Year's. Thank you for an amazing 2021. Let's crush 2022. You ready to do this, Jeff? A whole new year?
Oh boy. There's gonna be some dope trends coming.
Let's do it, dude.
All right.
Let's have some fun. Guys, thank you so much. Happy New Year's, everyone. Peace.